Hello and welcome to your new favorite paranormal podcast. I am your host, Kevin Leonard. With me, as always, my paranormal partner in crime, Corey Beam, and this is Into the Paranormal. How you doing, Corey?
I'm doing good. This has been a while,
It
but I'm sure
has.
it's just like riding a bike, so we'll do just fine.
I'm sure
Uh,
we'll be fine.
we have a lot to talk about, um, since you know, a lot not only has happened with us in the last 2 months, month and a half, lots happened in the world.
Yeah,
Um, so we got a lot to talk about.
yeah.
Uh,
So
and
this
and
episode is it's not gonna be, like specific on a topic, like we normally do. Let's just talk about a couple of things, give our thoughts, our takes, whatever. A couple, like you said, newsworthy things that's been going on, and we'll go from there. But first,
def-
Corey, what do we have coming up next week?
yeah, I don't know when this will be released, so. I never do. You know how we do things here. We're real good at that stuff. But we do have a fantastic presentation coming at the Deltona Regional Library on the 16th of March. That is a Saturday. That'll be at 10 a.m. in the Scrub J Auditorium. We're really looking forward to that, being back there. Had a good time the first time around when we were there, so should be a good time. Um, this is going to be a little different. I know we did our paranormal 101. This is kind of the how and why uh of the paranormal, uh and how why we can't answer those questions, and why it frustrates us. So it'll be a little different, but we'll definitely still cover some paranormal 101 topics because I'm sure there'll be some different people there. So we'll cover our bases, but it'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll be able to join Kappa and Into the Paranormal um, this coming Saturday. We hope to see you there. And Kevin, we have another really cool event coming up as well that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, right. Coming up in May 18th, we will be in Kingsland, Georgia at the Camden Middle School for Beta Quest. Beta Quest is an anime convention that is usually hosted at the Camden Middle School. There will be tons of activities, voice actors from some of your favorite anime, cosplay, uh, different local vendors, and your paranormal posse. Coastal Atlantic Paranormal Association will be in attendance, will be set up at booth 2. So if you are in or around Camden, Georgia, Southeast Georgia, come hang out with us, come see us, bring your family. It'll be fun for the whole family. There's tons to do, prizes that'll be going on throughout the event. It is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, May 18th. Um, links
And I
for
must say,
Mhm.
sorry, I hate to butt in, but I'm just gonna anyway because I don't care. No, it is for a good cause too.
Yes.
They're raising money, so um, for a beta, I forgot exactly what it was. I remember I had friends that were in it in middle school. For them to go on and do their activities. So it's worth it. You get to come see a bunch of cool stuff, and it goes to a good cause, so you
Right.
can't go wrong there.
Um, again, May 18th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I will put links to both of these events in today's show notes. Links to purchase your tickets for Beta Quest. Again, this is, like Corey said, is an event not hosted by Kappa. We're guests. We're going to be there. Um, Tickets are, let me look it up because I'm not prepared. Uh,
If I remember, I just want to see if I'm right here. If I remember, it was 15, but we will see.
yeah, I believe so. Um, so you can get your tickets at betaquest.weebly.com, and General admission is $12 and VIP is $50. Um,
Oh,
what is Beta Quest and how do they get their name? Beta Quest is a mini convention used as a fundraiser to send our junior Beta Club students to a national competition in the summer. 2024 will bring junior Beta students to Savannah to compete in various categories to represent Georgia. The name comes from the Junior Beta Club, as members are referred to as betas, and the students are on a quest to raise enough money to go to nationals. All right, so you'll have cosplay, celebrities, vendors, tabletop games. They'll have a DJ. Um, again, fun for the entire family. I'm trying to see what the VIP tickets will get you. Not seeing, but VIPs are, it's the better option. But based on your budget, just for a good cause, as Corey said. So come hang out with us. General admission is $12. VIP is $50. Again, May 18th, 9 a.m., 4 p.m. There'll be food trucks, celebrities, voice actors. So yeah, link in the description below, down in the show notes, and on the YouTube description.
awesome. Yeah, we hope to see you there.
And then we also have another event that we're not quite at liberty to talk about in April, but more information on that as it becomes available. But we're also looking forward to that as well.
We look forward to any events.
Yeah, it's always fun. And a couple other things that Corey and I were discussing before the show, that we will be featured on, and you'll be able to hear our lovely voices elsewhere. So,
Who doesn't love to hear us talk?
well, I mean, we sure do.
I don't know. I listen back to these things, and I can't stand my voice. I don't know about you.
Some days are better than others.
I am excited this year because something I've never done is investigate something on my birthday. And we are doing that. Actually, a couple of us on the team have the same birthday.
Yeah.
And so we will be doing an investigation
Slash birthday party.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. It'll be a great time.
And with that investigation, again, not gonna put it out there just yet, but we do have something that we are working on, and you guys will be, hopefully you'll be excited to see it, to hear about it. So with that being said, subscribe to our Kappa YouTube channel at youtube.com/Kappa Paranormal. Be sure to make sure you're subscribed and notification bell is rung, because you don't want to miss out.
Pound that subscribe and smash some buttons and all that stuff that we're supposed to say to get you revved up and get your engines a flowing, get that oil going.
All
It's
right.
good stuff. Now, I do want to say before we get into these stories,
Mhm.
I saw my first full body apparition.
Yeah, welcome to the
I just want to
Apparition Club,
mention
my
that.
friend. At the same place I saw my
that
first
was
full body apparition.
same exact place. I'm pretty sure it was also it might have been another team member's first full body apparition too.
It was a couple.
Yeah, and it was like three of us at the same time that saw it. We actually watched it for 5 minutes. It was the craziest experience I've ever had. I do want to say thank you once again to the Battleship North Carolina. I mean, it might have been. There's a possibility that it was more active this time than last time, and just gosh, if you get the chance to go there, even if it's just for historical, just a tour, it's so oh my gosh, it's so cool. I just
Yeah,
love the place.
yeah.
Um,
And
worth every
speaking, yeah, definitely. But speaking on your apparition or the what you guys saw, it's so awesome that you guys witnessed that because the first time we went to the battleship is when I saw what I had seen, and I was the only person that saw it. And again, Corey's mentioned it before. If you go back to uh, a couple of years ago worth on the, I'm pretty sure you can click on videos and just scroll down on the Kappa Facebook page. You can actually see like we were live at the time, and you see me react to it. And my first thought, it was so vivid that I thought it was a person that snuck aboard or was trespassing. And my first thought was, we need to get this person off the ship because it's a danger to the team, the ship, everyone that was there, because it's middle of the night, one something in the morning, two something in the morning, and we had no idea what was going on. And I saw this person, my team was accounted for, so I took off, because they went the opposite way. And I was the only person that saw it.
yeah,
This time,
yeah,
several, like two or three people saw something completely different in a different part of the ship, but the same vivid apparition or
yeah,
figure. And before, it's like, you have to take my word for it, because I don't have video proof. And again, even if it's my evidence or something that I experienced, if I say I saw it, I know what I saw. Can I prove it? No. So it just becomes a personal experience. But if you have people, multiple people, at a different time or even in the same time that have similar or the same experience, it gives you that like it corroborates, and validates your experiences, not saying that, other people didn't believe me or I don't believe so and so. It's when other people are like, I saw the same thing or I saw something extremely similar. It's kind of like, finally, like, okay, I'm not crazy, because
right.
you do get that, in your mind, like, did I just see what I saw? Was that actually there? Am I
Well,
half asleep?
even even with multiple people seeing it, I was like, thinking we must all be going crazy. I mean, when yeah, and the thing is, this wasn't the only thing that was seen there.
Right.
You saw a shadow figure that quite clearly in the same general
Yeah.
area. This is by the way on in the engine room, which if you ever get the chance to, or you're listening to this and get to investigate the Battleship North Carolina, go to that engine room and hang out for a bit. Um, I think every time we go, all two times, visual, and this time a shadow turned into a man with a towel and a hat and a uniform that kept walking back and forth for 5 minutes until it was very odd. I'm gonna take a guess and say, we've talked about our types of hauntings and say something that we watched something residual take place. That's what I believe, but it just blows my mind. And I know it blows the people away that saw it with me, and I mean, we had so much interaction.
Right.
Um, and I'm sure we'll do a full case file episode. I'm sure, kind of breaking down our second investigation at
Yeah,
some point.
definitely look forward to
Um,
a Case Files Battleship North Carolina part two.
the
Duh.
the the um, but
Yeah,
yeah, we've
because
it's been
I was like, because that second time we went, where I saw my apparition the first time was in the mess hall, and I saw nothing as clear the second time. Again, and like Corey said, I saw the myself, Tracy, guest investigator Cleo saw a shadow figure, like several shadows that we couldn't explain in the engine room, but later on in the night, um, when Corey and Rob and myself were in the mess hall again, looking. If you're familiar with the battleship, or if you plan to go in the mess hall, there is a wishing well, and it's where they loaded the ammunition, or they brought ammunition up. It's next to like the kitchen. But right now it's, people will throw like coins or, cash in some cases down there, and, make a wish. And there's like a little sound effect or whatever. Um, but when we were down there, it was, I don't know what time it was, but walking toward the wishing well, I swear on everything, I saw a person, but it wasn't as clear as the last time we were there, and my connection just froze. I don't know what's up with that. But the all I saw was kind of like if someone's walking and their arm is kind of swinging, so it looked like an arm. So a partial manifestation, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
we'll go more in detail on
Yeah.
all of that
There's,
on a future episode. So we'll be looking for that. That's proof that, we're not ending things here. Even though it's been a month, we're
yeah,
we're
we
not
have
done.
plans. I'm working 2 jobs. Kevin's on a crazy work schedule. The rest of Kappa is working crazy. I mean, that's what sucks about not being a TV star. We can't we can't just do this for a living. Um, but we're doing what we can, and we're
Yeah.
happy to be doing this. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming
Yep.
from us, and
So, Corey, let's start some things with a little bit of controversy.
okay, I like
All
controversy.
right. So, everyone that's listening, I'm sure you've heard Corey. We've talked about it briefly, but it's apparently taking the internet by storm for some reason. Uh, Satori Hawes and Cody, his last name. Um,
Okay,
Devin Dennis?
yeah,
No, is it that?
no, no,
It's similar to
this the
Sherry's, but it's not. They're not related.
no,
God, I'm
yeah,
horrible with names, guys. So if you're listening, because I know Satori and Cody are big fans of the show.
yeah,
I mean, no disrespect
absolutely.
to anyone listening. If I mess up your name, sorry. I don't have it pulled up anywhere, and I'm horrible with names. But Satori and Cody, they have been making headlines for the past couple of months, about their abilities, air quotes for those listening to the podcast. Um, they apparently have this, as they call it, their thing that they do, um, and where they'll touch each other, like hold hands or make some sort of physical contact. They'll recite the alphabet. Satori is usually the one that recites the alphabet, and they'll get knocks. And I've never met Satori and Cody personally. I've never met Jason personally. So I have no ties to them in any sort of way. There's a disclaimer there. I don't know them personally at all. Corey doesn't know them personally, um, but apparently, from those that have met them and experienced this firsthand, um, when they begin doing their quote unquote thing, you can hear what sounds like footsteps coming into the room from different directions. Um, and then, as I said, the tutorial will recite the alphabet, A, B, C, D, knock. They'll ask a question. Sorry, they'll ask a question, and they'll get a knock on the a letter, and it will spell out an answer. So you might say, "Oh, what is your name?" And they'll go through the alphabet, and they might knock at C, knock at O, R, E, Y. Like, oh, Corey, and then they'll go on, maybe get a last name, and they'll just basically spell out messages. and it's it's weird, you know. Um, I first saw them do this on Ghost Hunters when they were on an episode of Ghost Hunters last year, 2 years ago, or something, or maybe even been before that. I have no clue. Um, and then, but what actually, believe it or not, what brought them into the spotlight, or what brought them into uh, this whole ordeal that's going on, was they were on the Sam and Kobe YouTube channel, and they went to the Conjuring house, and it was a whole thing. They got messages talking about family members and whatever, whatever. And it was very emotional for Sam and Kobe. And ever since then, and that just shows you the following that Sam and Kobe have on YouTube. If you've never heard of them, they're a YouTube channel that goes to haunted locations, does investigations or whatever. And they have, I don't know, some odd million subscribers. Um, and
They got about a million something more than we do.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we're neck and neck. You
Oh, we're
know,
close. We're right there.
we're right on their heels. But so anybody listening, to go over there and give them a follow or whatever. We
Yeah,
like to
I'm sure
help
it'll
out
help.
the we like to help out the little guys. But um, so it just kind of shows you that where they are. But ever since then, they've been kind of in the spotlight. Project Fear has experienced this. They were on one of their videos at the Conjuring house. Um, Twin Paranormal, I believe,
Yeah.
exploring with Josh. Um, a couple more. I can't think. I'm just
They've
kind
been
of,
on. They've made the rounds, really.
yeah, yeah. But since the Sam and Kobe episode, they were pretty much under fire. Like, a lot of people are like calling them fakes, frauds, or whatever. I don't want to put labels. I don't want to witch hunt. Don't go to Cody and Satori and bash them. If you're listening to this, don't do that. Don't go to Exploring with Josh or Sam and Kobe. Don't go to any of these channels and do anything toxic. We don't need that. We just want a
No,
healthy conversation and
well,
debate and discuss. And you are free to believe what you believe. You might just be willing to die on that hill of they are one or the other. Um,
and this is what I will say. I don't go to any of these sites and bash. Whether Satori and Cody are in the episode, Sam and Colby, Project Fair, Exploring with Josh, any of these people that do it, um, I think the best way, if you don't believe something, have a constructive conversation.
mhm.
Talk like an adult. I think it was awful. I don't necessarily like Jason Hawes's response originally. But people were being extremely rude and almost disgusting human behavior towards Satori. Whether or not it's real or they're frauds or whatever people want to call them, they're still human. Treat them with respect, and like I said, have a constructive conversation in the comment section, because that's really, that's gonna get more answer. And you might not agree with the people you talk to, and if somehow they do respond, you still might not agree with them. You don't have to. Personally, I do not believe a thing they do, but I'm not going to bash them as people. And that's me looking at Satori. I'm forgetting her last name because I think there can be some bias there. Okay, oh, that's Jason Hawes's daughter.
Right.
Jason Hawes is one of the reasons I'm in the paranormal field. I watched that show, him and Grant, and that's one reason I love to do this. I'm very thankful for that. So I have to take that out of it. And if I just saw somebody that I didn't know doing this on a YouTube channel with 30 subscribers, I would call BS, right? I would have to see this in person, know where I am, and they would have to prove it to me. Now, I feel like if I have evidence like that, I bear the burden of proof, right? So, um, it's fascinating, but you know, you also have to remember these YouTube channels, just like television shows, are also out to get views that make money.
Yep.
So you have to take everything with a grain of salt, question it. Healthy skepticism is very important in this field and in life in general. And, you know, go from there. But don't be mean about it. Just have constructive conversations. That's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, because there's plenty of people that are like trying to get them to prove or whatever, and it's up to them. It's up to Satori and Cody, realistically, if they want to do that or whatever. Because people were comparing them to the Fox sisters, um, and saying
And
that they're just popping joints or whatever. And there's actually a really compelling argument that I saw where it's not necessarily joints popping, like they're not popping their wrist because you can see them when they're doing it. It's not like they're hidden behind a curtain. I mean, they're, you know, clothed or whatever, but there is actually a really good argument that, and I saw on YouTube or whatever, where like this kid was like, he was barefoot and he was like popping his toes like that or whatever. And the people, I guess it was like his dad or whatever, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? And like he would do it and you would hear the pop like coming down the stairs. Like he was able to do it in a way
says
where
he's a ventriloquist with his feet.
basically like he
That's
could like
interesting.
make the sound kind of go from different points of the room, you know, maybe not like on command, like, all right, this one's going to sound like it's coming down the stairs. It could just, you know, do it to where it just sounds from a different place or whatever. And they've been asked to do it barefoot and they said no. To me, that kind of screams, oh, that's how we do it. Or it just could be they don't want to, I mean, I don't want to do anything barefoot, but that's just
Yeah.
to me screams that okay, that's how we're doing it. But at the same time, they don't have
Yeah.
to prove anything to me. You know, I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it
No, they
is.
don't.
Um, and it's just really interesting. And if you haven't seen any other their thing on YouTube or Ghost Hunters or whatever, go look it up. Go look at the arguments that uh, support or uh, claim that it's fraud or whatever, and make your own conclusions, but do it respectful and tasteful.
Yep.
That's all that we ask. Any
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Respect.
closing?
Give respect.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there was any
Just
closing argument or thoughts on that?
uh, no, it's just the same. Be respectful, and there's still um people that are in the paranormal field, and you know they haven't given me any reason to disrespect them, and I'd like to think they're decent people, and you know let's treat people with respect. People always you've been taught to treat people like you want to be treated. So I
Yeah,
think we all sometimes need to remember that. But
definitely. So, moving on from the controversy to the weird. Before the show, I showed you a video of a UFO that was captured on film, seen by Ukraine soldiers. What were your thoughts on that?
vodka, no. It's interesting, right? Um, I always look at these videos, and to me it's usually some form of Photoshop, or I mean AI has gotten out of control. with what it can do. Um,
Yeah, AI has
eh,
gotten out of hand.
yeah, I can't tell anything what's fake and from real anymore. But um, you know, it's fascinating. Um,
Well, this was apparently released from like the Ukrainian government, or some of the Ukrainian military, maybe. Um, and I saw someone where it was kind of like a not hallucination, a mirage. You know how you'll have like there's pictures of a ship in the distance, and it kind of looks like it's floating
oh,
over the
right,
water, but like the
right.
horizon is like up here and the water is here, but the ship will be like here, where they
Yep.
saw something like that. But this drone, because it was captured on a thermal drone, it was able to get close to it and like move around it to where it would eliminate that.
Yeah.
Um, they were questioning like why couldn't they fire missiles at it, or why it couldn't fire missiles at them or something. It was just stationary, like it just stayed right there, almost like they were just like watching each other. There's a
To me,
lot of UFO things like coming out lately.
oh yeah. I I think you and me are both on agreement that some big UFO um y- announcement will be made at some point, probably in our lives.
Definitely.
Um, it's fascinating. I think this is more likely to not be extraterrestrial, and I think there's either one of two things in my book. It's either shopped and just and somehow it's saying it was released by the Ukrainian military and it's not, or um, it possibly, I mean, as a country that is at war, um, could be some weird drone thing that another country has that we don't know about.
Yeah,
Um,
it could be some secret Russian
right. That would be
aircraft.
what I would go towards. Um, I would probably not say extraterrestrial, but it's still fascinating.
Yeah,
Um, it's interesting it coming from a possible actual military from Ukraine. I mean, you saw the video. What do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, I think it's interesting. Um, as far as it being extraterrestrial, I don't know. My point of view kind of teeters on like believing and not believing. Like I believe in extraterrestrials definitely, but as far as like any type of UFO sighting that gets reported or anything like that, any clip or whatever, because Tracy and I were talking, and it it almost I kind of lean towards all the UFO sightings are man-made. They're government. Like, what if it's just our government or another government with these futuristic type aircraft or anything like that that are kind of just testing new equipment, testing new technology, um, and deliberately being seen, almost to kind of gauge our reaction and see if it will cause like mass hysteria or panic or
Mhm.
whatever.
Sounds
Um,
a lot like the stealth bombers of the 80s
right,
coming out of
right,
Area 51.
exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's keep it on like extraterrestrials. Like, do you believe that aliens are here? They either in the sky or water or anything?
I don't know if they're here at this moment. I think if we look back and we really want to go into it, I think there is enough in ancient text to say there's a lot of odd things that I'm not one to say, oh, there's no way people could have built the pyramids, but it's a monumental feat. And looking at hieroglyphics of what look like spacemen, or these flaming chariots you hear about. Even in the Bible, it talks about flaming chariots flying. What it's just it's
But couldn't that be a comet
if
that people just didn't know
possible.
what a
Yeah,
comet was? You know, a
it could be
meteor.
it could be a lot of things that
Anything
doesn't mean
entering our
alien.
atmosphere
Very
would
much.
catch fire.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
depending on
it
how
definitely.
close you were to it, it would appear
Right.
on fire and flying through the sky.
Yeah. I mean, it
See,
could. Ooh, it could definitely be that too. That's 100% possible.
I think
Yeah.
that's the part where I teeter. You know, like I believe because it's almost ignorant, you know, to think that Earth is the only planet, not necessarily in our solar system or galaxy, but in the universe that has life.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
as
I wouldn't even say it's almost ignorant. It's flat out ignorant. Um,
but
you
think
know.
about how far these other planets are. Could be
Hmm.
across the universe, could be across the galaxy, solar system, whatever. How far they have to be, how far these aliens have to travel to get here and to have been here since, you know, ancient Egypt or before then or whatever. And there we still don't, they're not hanging out with us, you know, they're not making their presence known. I think that part is weird. I don't necessarily buy into the
Sure.
whole like they're visiting. They've been visiting for hundreds and thousands of years apparently. Why are they being sneaky? You're not going to travel millions of light years and just hide. Like, you know, to
Uh,
me, I would think they would kind of, their presence would be known, you know? They wouldn't just go like, come here and just hide in the water, hide in underground cities that were randomly built for
right.
them.
Well, it's very very true. Now, that's the thing. I think alien life absolutely exists. I just don't know where. You have billions upon billions of galaxies, and those galaxies have billions and billions of stars
Right,
each. That's that's a number that I don't think you can even wrap your brain around. And each of those have solar systems around each star that have multiple planets.
right,
Uh, To think, I mean, that's just the likelihood is very high
right.
that life exists in some form. And something that I can't wrap my brain around is the universe is expanding
Right.
quickly.
I mean,
What
it's
I'm
literally
curious,
infinite.
it is. We can't get it's expanding quicker than we can move, which is crazy. And I'll tell you what I don't understand. What the hell is it expanding into? What's beyond it that is that's going into?
Right.
I know I'm disappearing, but
Now you were getting like really
I'm
close to the screen, so I was like,
I have you ever thought about think about it. The edge of the universe is expanding, but what is it expanding? Is it nothingness beyond it? Like what's
is it
beyond?
nothingness expanding into, or is it vastness expanding into nothingness, making nothingness in and of itself smaller?
Whatever you
Eh,
just said, possibly. But it blows my freaking mind uh, when I think about that, and I will never know the answer.
Again, that's
Never.
another question we will never know the answer.
No,
I
I'll
think,
be.
you know,
I don't unless I don't know. It's crazy to think about. And we speaking about UFOs. We were actually just before here. You sent me all 69 pages of the thing that uh, some of the documents that were released from Roswell that came out from the Pentagon.
hmm
And that was fascinating,
yeah.
quite
So if you don't
fascinating.
know, was it February 7th? I believe.
I think that's what it said. Yeah.
The Pentagon actually declassified some of the documents of the original Roswell UFO incident. It is public domain. You can Google it, download your PDF file, and read through 60 plus pages of information that
What I
may or
will
may
tell
not
you is,
say anything.
well, I will, I will help some of y'all out. Um, from what I have read so far, nothing says aliens exist.
It actually
Um,
says that they don't,
yeah,
in
I
a
think
matter of
everything said.
speaking.
That's basically what it said. We went into Project Mogul, which was from 52 to 69. That was looking into UFO sightings. I think there were some that were unexplained,
Hmm.
but the
I think
vast majority.
701 of 12,000 of the Project Blue Book files, or
Oh, I
uh,
said Mogul.
yeah, you said Project Mobile,
Gosh
but
darn.
the Project Blue Book files of like 12,000 plus files or cases, 701 were categorized as unexplained or unknown,
And
which
that could
is
mean
interesting.
it's interesting, but it can also mean anything, right?
Yeah, it could be nothing.
Yeah, it's possible. Um, I was thinking about the Roswell incident. They do talk about the
Hmm.
one I said, Project Mogul, the high altitude weather balloon spy.
Yeah, they
You
doubled
know,
down on the weather
yeah,
balloon.
they did double down on that, which maybe that is actually what it was. Um, it's I guess it's probably more likely. Um, I will say there's still a lot of strange things surrounding that incident.
Right, the
It
secrecy of
include
it, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like, even if it was a weather balloon, okay, let's just, for whatever sake, let's say it was a weather balloon. You can't deny the significance of the Roswell incident in the UFO paranormal community, because it sparked a an entire era of research. Um, I was gonna say a fandom, but it
oh,
sparked this
kind of.
entire, yeah, I mean, without
I mean,
the Roswell incident, you wouldn't. I probably honestly wouldn't even be on this podcast right now, because it
yeah.
was such an influence on shows like The X-Files, which got me into the paranormal. Um, it's countless things, it catapulted so many parts of the paranormal just in general. So even if it was a weather balloon, the significance of that incident is undeniable and unmistakable. It's just, I don't know if it was a weather balloon, but again, that kind of goes back into my teetering. If I don't believe that aliens are actually here, what else could it have been? It could have been anything, top secret military equipment from
Which is
Russia
technically
or.
what Project Mogul
Mhm.
was. Top. So the secrecy surrounding it, if indeed it is a weather balloon, it does make sense because it was a
Mhm.
top secret project. So yeah, I know people say, "Oh, the secrecy doesn't make sense." It does. It still was a very
Right.
top secret project at the time.
Right.
So it makes sense. But you're right. Roswell, no matter what it was, will always go down as something that um, has a huge, um, you know, impact on the field of ufologists and the paranormal in general. I think, speaking
Cryptozoology.
all of
Like,
them, they're as much as people don't talk about it, they're all tied
yeah.
together. Um, not everyone. Not I'm not saying every ghost hunter wants to hunt Bigfoot, and every cryptozoologist wants to go out and look for UFOs, but it's the curiosity and
You're
the
related,
curious
regardless
mind.
if you want to admit it or not.
Mhm. This brought up another UFO incident that I found. Oh well, there's a couple, but I'm going to go into this one. There is one that I want to do a full podcast on.
Okay.
Um, at some point that I won't talk about right now. But this is another one. Do you remember the Kecksburg incident?
Refresh.
This what happened in Pennsylvania in 1965. They saw this craft land as a fireball land into some woods, and one of the guys was able to actually get before the military showed up into town. Was able
Mm-hmm.
to get down to where it was, and it had weird writings all over the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually saw it carted off on a giant 18-wheeler out of town, and the military was in the area. And they said when it was coming down, it was almost like it was being controlled. It's a fascinating. You know what? Because you don't know much about it, wait until the podcast. We'll do a Kecksburg slash Central St. Louis, Illinois UFO case
Okay.
combination episode, and we'll really go into them. But that's one that fascinates me too. That one actually freaked me out. If you don't know, I'll hunt Bigfoot all day long, well, all night long, whatever he comes out to play, that's fine. I will walk around battleships, you know. Aliens is where
That's where you
I
draw
get
the
the
line?
I don't draw the line. I it's fascinating. I like investigating this stuff.
Oh, okay.
But the fact that if they do exist, they can suck me up into a ship and I wouldn't say probe me because I'm gay. You know, that's not a really big deal for me. But you know, it's just a little more freaky than an ape man. I don't know if that makes it. It just is though. You know,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah. I
you know,
think I think that they're more believable that to be here than Bigfoot, Nessie, or anything like that, to be honest.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, and
I
I
do. I
Nessie
think so.
Nessie. I was doing some research on Loch Ness, and it actually changed my mind about Nessie ever being a thing. Um, because Loch Ness is not old at all.
Hmm.
I thought it was much older than it was, but I was mistaken. It was only, a lot of people say it was a plesiosaur that got caught and trapped, but
Like the formation of the lake or whatever,
but
or
the
the lock.
formation, the loch, but the formation of the loch only happened around 10,000 years ago, and plesiosaurs were long gone.
Yeah, a
So,
couple decades before
um,
that.
just a couple. It was
Yeah,
very close.
yeah.
Um,
Just missed
so
it by this much.
yes. So my thoughts on Nessie, where I thought it was possible, um, uh, I've kind of changed my mind on that.
Yeah.
But
Well, and the Nessie thing, like people are saying that it was a plesiosaur, but then there's also a few sightings of Nessie on the ground, like
oh yeah,
moving
out of
towards.
the
So
water, yeah,
plesiosaurs
I,
didn't do that. I mean,
yeah,
they
they're not.
would breathe
But,
air, but they were mammals,
you know,
not
it
mammals, reptiles. Sorry,
like they were not
they
mammals.
weren't mammals.
But I digress. It's interesting. They if I were to after the paranormal being spirits and really the main thing that we do as Kappa, uh I think after that I'd have to go with um upright hominids that we haven't discovered yet as
Yeah,
cryptids being the most likely. I think I've said this another the orang pendek of Indonesia. I think in all the paranormal realm is probably the most likely to actually exist. Um, but it's all interesting. It's all the paranormal. It's all fun. Um, and I'll hey, if I hope they do find Nessie.
yeah.
And
I mean, it'd be cool to put
well,
that
or,
mystery to bed and just I have answers. But
or maybe
part of the fun is this here, just talking about it, just guessing what could it
yeah,
be.
yeah.
You
Who
know,
doesn't want to talk when? Who doesn't want to sit here and talk about freaking Nessie and from Loch Ness at midnight when they have to get up in 5 hours for work? This is the
5.
dream. Yeah, But
Yeah.
that's,
I'll be up
this
at
is,
3.
look at that. See, look what we're doing. We're killing ourselves for you, the audience.
Yeah. So you
You
better
know,
appreciate this.
yeah, please hit the subscribe, smash that like button, turn on,
Turn
no,
off
don't
notifications.
turn on that bell, hit that bell, and then get all your friends to like us, and then maybe we'll throw you a pizza party. But it has to be virtual because some of you were in like frickin' Sweden, and I don't know how to get you pizza. Do you even eat pizza in Sweden? I don't know.
All right.
Like a
So,
Swedish, do you just eat meatballs?
wow. All right.
Well, Swedish, they got the best meatballs.
So, keeping it international, keeping it, yeah, international. Um, Antarctica. So, there apparently a couple weekends ago, I don't know how long ago this happened. I didn't see it. I read about it or saw it afterwards. Apparently, the frequency field, if you're looking on Google Earth, over Antarctica actually went down, and that is basically what makes Antarctica looks like it's blanketed in snow. There are, their bases or like the outposts that you can see clearly without any repercussion, or they freely show you these places on Google Earth, Google Maps, or whatever. Um, but the frequency field actually went down, and a couple of people have, seen entire cities, because you can visit Antarctica, you can take cruises to Antarctica, and you can go to the outposts, but there are specific outposts, specific places that you can go to on these cruises or destinations or whatever. But as far as just like exploring Antarctica, it's largely off limits to civilians. Only the government can go there, which is weird, but apparently this frequency field went down, and people saw past it. You can go through, it's almost like a fog. But if you go down, I don't know the coordinates off the top of my head or anything, but you can actually break through the frequency field for like an hour. A couple of weekends ago, far as I know, it's you can't do it anymore. But images of entire cities, streetlights, stores, cars, everything just going about life were seen in Antarctica. And okay, these conspiracy theorists threw out their conspiracy, so take it with a heart wrenching amount of salt. That these are actually cities built by and or for aliens, and that's where the aliens are kept, and that's where they live, that's where they're stationed or whatever. That's an alien city. There was someone saying that they've been into some of these places, maybe not that city, but some of these places like these caves or whatever in Antarctica. I can't say Antarctica for some reason, but
You just did
there,
very well,
well,
actually.
but there's like a cave that at one point it was visible, like clearly visible on Google Maps, and then it was just masked over, and then it was gone. Like it didn't even look like a cave entrance or anything anymore. Uh, but they were saying that these caves or these civilizations were just not built for humans, that they were extraterrestrial in nature. And I guess maybe a more plausible explanation for the city and Antarctica, because it is, only government agents or classified people can be there. Maybe that's just where they go. That's where they have to live. Say if you're in the government and okay, top secret mission, you're being sent to Antarctica to outpost 399 BC, whatever, for 6 months to a year, X amount of time. That's just where you live. You're stationed. That's where you go to the store. There's apartments, whatever. Maybe that's just a government sanctioned civilization, and it's just blocked because, like Area 51, it's off the map. Like non-government agencies or people that aren't in the know uh, are not supposed to see it for whatever reason. But I thought it was interesting and I thought it was cool. It's weird. It's eyebrow raising, however it goes. What do you think about it?
Well, I will say it's interesting. I think it's more than likely some weird glitch in Google Earth, right? But there is another conspiracy that I
Hmm.
that is the outpost that Hitler ran off to.
Hmm.
There is a lot of um conspiracy theories surrounding Hitler, of course, surviving World War II and going off to Antarctica, where there was already a German outpost at the time, and that's what this was. New Serbia, New Swerbia, there was a
Swabia.
whole there Schwabia, and that was what it was called, and they had their own currency, and Melania Trump is from there, and all kind. Well,
Yeah.
that's when it goes off the rails a bit, probably, but that might be um, where Hitler ended up, and that's actually not overly unplausible. I mean, that's also a possibility. It's interesting. I don't think there's anything extraterrestrial about it
Yeah.
personally, but
Yeah,
uh,
I definitely believe that
and
that's the either that or the military civilization, or like that's where they get
yeah,
stationed is the more believable explanations.
yeah, I think so, and I think mine, the top of my list is glitch in the system. Would honestly be my first guess. If it is real, military is second, and then some Nazi encampment maybe third, and fourth, uh, we could put the alien base. But um, that's what I think. It's fascinating to say the least.
Yeah,
So who knows? We'll now that they have blanketed it back up. You know who will never know? We will not know. I guarantee
we.
that. Yeah, and all of you too. We're not
Yeah,
special. You will not know either. That's just how it is.
yeah.
They don't want us to know crap.
I mean, unless you're a
I
special
don't even know
agent in
why.
the military, then you might know.
You might,
But
maybe.
but I think that
Yeah,
is all
that's a possibility.
the stories that I have, or the articles or news things that I've come across. You got anything else, Corey?
Well, I don't have anything else, but I got a few things to just plug, promote, and talk about for 2 seconds.
Okay.
One, um, two things to say. The Coastal Atlantic Paranormal Association, Kappa. Of course, you know us if you've watched this podcast. We're based Georgia, Florida. Couple things, of course, you can head to kappaparanormal.com, the front page. You can request our help. Also, you know, we're looking to bring some able-bodied people in to our team. Um, who are passionate about the paranormal like us. Um, it- Plus, if you have a technical background, would be great. And we'd love to have you. So if you are in that area and you are someone with a schedule that can, you know,
Can do
go
the
to town,
flexes.
yeah, little flexibility. Um, Let us know. Reach out. That's cappaparanormal.com. And of course, if you know any place or you have a haunting problem in your home, reach out. You can also request help right on that page as well. Also, please go over to facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. Hit us up there, like us, follow us. And you can also go to facebook.com/IntoTheParanormal and follow us there. And we'll get, back to doing some more podcasts. You can also follow me, facebook.com/Corey Beam. And if you'd like to send us cool, creepy stories that we can read, we'd still love them. You can always check us out, or not check us out, but you can send us an email at IntoTheParanormalPod@gmail.com.
And you can find me at Kappa Paranormal on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places. Facebook.com/Kevin Leonard. Give me a follow. I don't post much, but you'll be entertained at least once every 6 months. Email us info@kappaparanormal.com. All business inquiries, info@kappaparanormal.com. If you want us on your show, at your event, just reach out to us and we will set something up. And that is all the time we have for today. We were going to get back on a regular upload schedule. We missed you guys. As always, I have been Kevin Leonard. That has been Corey Beam. And this has been Into the Paranormal.
Good night, guys. And remember, stay respectful.